Hi guys, welcome back. It's Saturday 10th of February, so I am now officially 10 days into the carnivore diet, and so far I haven't really run into any significant problems. So I've made a little bit of a list. The first list I had there last week, or rather the week before, 10 days ago. The kind of issues that I had that I was hoping to see an improvement in or clear up completely, the ones I believed I would see change in, and the ones I believed I would see no change in at all. I am quite serious about sticking to this diet, I suppose I should call it. So I have invested in some equipment in order to make it that little bit easier, because the problems that I have run into are when I am in the supermarket looking at certain meats, so sausages generally. Unfortunately, even sausages that say they are, 97, 98% pork in the supermarkets or grocery store for my American cousins, they often contain carbs. They have sugars in there, they have wheat in there. And although it's a very small amount, I'd like to have more control of what I am putting into my body. If I'm deciding to eat meat only, I don't want to be caught out by eating what I think is meat, but actually has other ingredients in there. Salt, of course, is okay. Maybe a little bit of other seasoning I'd be okay with, a bit of black pepper, but in general, I want to know what I'm actually putting in there, so that's really important. So I'm going to go through some of the list that I read out in the last video. One of the things I did miss out on that's actually quite important, and I've seen regularly occur with people submitting carnivore videos or vlogs, bleeding gums. For the last at least 6 months or so, I've had bleeding gums every single time I clean my teeth. If I have food and I see there's a little kind of stuck to the gum or the tooth here, if I just remove that with my finger, that part of the gum is bleeding. So my gums became very sensitive. Now I have pretty good teeth. I have one filling since before I was a teenager, and I haven't had any extractions. I have all my adult teeth. They're all in relatively good condition. But the bleeding gums is something that was kind of bothering me over the last few months. Now, I did also get my teeth professionally cleaned. So this is important to say, just about a week ago. So that could be it. However, I usually get my teeth cleaned once every 6 months, twice per year. And I normally find that while it does clear the tartar, the plaque buildup, if I have any sensitivity, if my gums have been bleeding, it generally doesn't make any difference. But this time round, my gums haven't bled since the day after I got my teeth checked, cleaned, and polished. So that's a real positive there. Okay, so I'm going to go through some of this list first of all, and then I'll get into what I've invested in. So I spoke about scalp sores last time round. I do still have a bit of dandruff build up here, but I don't appear to have any sores. So nothing, no scabs, nothing that I can pick at, nothing that's bleeding or anything like that. So that's an improvement. That's good. I haven't had a single headache in the last 10 days. Fantastic. Although there are periods where I'll have a couple of weeks where I don't have any headaches anyway, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. My water intake as well, just on that note, my water intake has just absolutely skyrocketed. I'm probably drinking at least 3 liters per day. There are some days where I might only drink a glass or a cup of water. Part of that is thanks to me taking these electrolytes, and I've also invested in some vitamin C tabs. These guys are only about €2 in Lidl, or I'm sure they have the same in Aldi or most other shops or grocery stores. These were around €8-9, so a little bit more expensive, even though it looks like they're definitely packaged in the exact same packaging, so probably made at the same place, but they charge a fortune because it's electrolytes. So try to be healthy and they charge you for it. Anyway, what I have been doing is popping one of these in here. It takes about a minute to dissolve the electrolyte tab. When that is dissolved, lemon flavor, I then put in the vitamin C, which dissolves within a few seconds. So I have orange and lemon flavor. It doesn't look pretty, but it tastes pretty good actually. So I've been feeling pretty good taking those since. I was worried about my vitamin C intake, did consider eating oranges or mandarins, or even putting some lemon in water, but I decided I'll go ahead with these tablets. Brain fog. I still get a little bit of brain fog in the mornings, but generally I'm a lot clearer than I have been. I'm a bit more focused at work, although I haven't been doing any machine installs. My focus is just, that much better. It's a bit of clarity. Neck and shoulder pain, I can't say I've noticed any real improvement there. I don't really have any real neck or shoulder pain at the moment, but I do feel a little bit better. I'm not going to put it down to changing the diet right now because, my pain kind of goes up and down over a period of a couple of weeks, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. If it stays the way I am, great, then there will be an improvement. I don't really expect any change to be there. So let's see. Mucus, definitely big improvement there. When I wake up in the morning, I'm no longer stuffed up. I'm not hocking and choking and spitting all colors of stuff down the sink. I'm just waking up and it's fresh and clean. Take a drink of water. That's really all I need to do. Haven't had any chest infections. No chest or heart pain. At my workplace, I have 3 flights of stairs to climb up to the first floor, where before I would be out of breath. If I was talking, you would notice that I was struggling for about a minute or two afterwards. Not keeling over struggling, but it was noticeable. So that's improved a little bit there. What else? So mid back pain, I haven't noticed any change there. Lower back pain, definitely not. My lower back was quite sore over the last 2-3 days. So as I said in the last video, that's nerve damage in my lower back, my L4, L5. So I'm not expecting any improvement there, and I didn't see any improvement there. Stomach acid, haven't had any acid reflux, haven't had any issues with my stomach at all. Bowel cramps, which were pretty much every day or every second day. I've had one instance of bowel cramping since about 5 days ago. It was very mild. Usually that would mean it's going to get worse and I need to go visit the toilet. That didn't happen. I was fine. As I said, it was mild, it cleared up. A couple of hours later, I'd gone to the toilet and no issues there whatsoever. So leading on to loose stools or diarrhea. So the first few days into the diet, I would say 4, maybe even up to 5 days in. I haven't kept an exact record. There have been loose stools. I wouldn't say diarrhea because I'd go once or maybe twice in the day, small amounts, and I didn't really experience any difficulty there, and I didn't have to take any medication, which is really key here. I didn't have to take any medication. It has cleared up since then, and I'm back to normal digestive processes and normal passing. So massive win there. Really happy with that. I mentioned knee sensitivity. No comment on that really. Foot pain, haven't had any, but again, that's a very irregular occurrence. And low energy levels. That's what I had definitely before I started this. My energy levels are, I had like kind of a peak in the first few days, and then I just kind of came down to a more, what I would say, normal level. But I definitely have more energy than before, and that's evident in the fact that I'm not coming home from work and falling asleep. I'm getting a full day out of myself. So this electrolyte is completely dissolved. I'm just going to put in my vitamin C, and when you see these guys, they dissolve a little bit more quickly than the electrolyte, so that'll be literally done in a few seconds. Yeah, so I'll pop those in together and drink them together at the same time. Still tastes pretty good, and I get everything that I need. Right, so what else did I want to talk about, or what else did you guys want to hear? I suppose on the investment side of things, as I said, I wanted to make this a little bit easier for myself, give myself a little bit more control over what I'm eating, and hopefully maybe save a few euro in the process. So I went and I ordered myself one of those Vortex air fryers. I've used it a couple of times, been pretty good. Fried up a couple of Italian sausages on that. Tasted really good, first time use. Perfect, tasted delicious. So I've also ordered myself a meat grinder, Bosch meat grinder. And I went out yesterday and I bought myself about 4 kilos of pork. I think it's like a mix of pork belly and shoulder. And I ground all that up. I'd also picked up some lamb casings, so the small casings. Unfortunately, the sausage maker spout or part connection that goes onto the meat grinder is really only designed for hog casings, so the larger sausage. So today I'm going to go and get some of those larger casings and make the pork sausage. So I ground the meat up twice. I've chopped it up, ground it up, put it through twice, mixed in 2% salt. I used the pink Himalayan salt. I did crack in about 4 grams of black pepper and some mixed herb in there as well, maybe probably about a gram or two of mixed herb, just to give a little bit of flavor there. So that was last night, and I've put that in the fridge since. That's ready to make sausages today. Good thing I also got myself a vacuum sealer, so I've put that minced pork into a vacuum bag, sealed it up, and it's now waiting for me to make some sausages today from that. Right, what have I been eating? Boiled egg most mornings, just one, just to get myself through the morning when I go to work. Generally leave at about 7 a.m. Get to work, I'll have a meeting at about 8 or so. So I'll have my boiled egg before that, and that'll get me through usually until lunch. When I have my lunch, thankfully I've been getting home early from work in the last couple of weeks. I will either make myself a steak, usually a strip loin steak or a ribeye steak, which, by the way, are my new favorites. Ribeye. I don't think I've actually ever eaten a ribeye before I've started this diet. My preferred steak was a fillet, but I wanted something with a bit more fat, so I've moved on to strip loin and ribeye. Cooked in butter only, seasoned with salt, and absolutely delicious. The other thing I've been eating, beef patties. These are shop prepared, 100% Angus beef usually, and I don't even have to put any seasoning on them. There's already salt in them, and again they're also cooked with butter. So I'll usually have 2 patties. This is often what I'll have for lunch or for my dinner. I haven't really had to eat much at all. I'll prepare them on a frying pan, set them aside. I'll then fry an egg, easy over, and I'll put some mixed cheddar cheese on one of the burger patties and the egg on the other patty, and absolutely delicious. What else? So I've already mentioned the Italian sausage. I've had on maybe 2 evenings, I've had a small cut of cheddar cheese, some little small blocks. I don't know how many grams, a small cut. Anyway, half the quarter of the cut of, maybe this size. I don't know how many grams. Anyway, and also milk. Guys, I drink whole milk. I used to drink a lot of whole milk. None of that skim stuff. And somebody mentioned to stay away from milk and to only drink heavy milk. Now, I've looked up heavy milk and it seems to be just cream. Am I right? Is it just cream? Instead of drinking milk, am I to have cream, or can I have half a glass of milk every now and again? You know, ideally I'd like to have maybe, you know, half a glass of milk every day, a glass of milk every other day. That'd be great. But look, you know, I can certainly do without it. I'd like to know the answer. If somebody can let me know in the comments what I really should be doing. Keep in mind, I'm in Ireland here, so whatever you guys are talking about in the States could be different to what we're talking about in Ireland. So let me know exactly what the heavy milk is. That'd be fantastic. What else? So I've gone through all of my ailments, the improvements there, what I've been eating and what I've invested in. Have I run into any problems? Yes, I have. One of the problems I ran into is if I go for lunch at work, we do have a canteen, but I can't trust any of the food that they have there because they'll be frying it in seed oils or whatever. And, you know, I can't get just meat, at least not at any kind of value price. So I'm lucky enough that I have a Lidl, a 2-minute drive from my work location. So kind of take me 10 minutes to get there. And there I have the option, I can get just plain chicken or just plain beef or plain ham, 100%, no additives whatsoever. I did go to another supermarket on my way home one of the days, and this is just this kind of packaged, you know, kind of, you know, cut meat where you'll have 5 or 6 slices in there. I did go to another supermarket and pick up what I thought was just beef, but when I turned it around and had a look, it had added sugar, it had carbs, it had, I don't know, whatever else in there. Now, could I have eaten it? Yeah, if I was really stuck, I could have, but, you know, I wasn't really hungry, and I had time enough to go home and make myself a steak. So if I was really stuck, yeah, I would have eaten it. I've also gone to McDonald's twice during this 10-day period. The one day I was locked out of the house and went to McDonald's and got myself a double quarter pounder cheese with nothing but the meat and cheese. And I did that a couple of days ago as well. I was pretty hungry after having 3 boiled eggs, 1 in very early morning, 2 in mid-morning, and I was still hungry. So on my way home, I just said, look, I'm not going to let this hunger, you know, kick in and bother me. Popped into McDonald's, well, drive-through, and got the same, just the double quarter pounder with cheese patties, and that was great. So you're probably interested in my weight. So I have weighed myself this morning, and there has been a loss. Where are we? Writing it down. So when I started, I was 110 kilos, which was 17.3 stone and 242 pounds. This morning, I am at 105.6 kilos, which is 16.6 stone and 233 pounds. So that's down 4.4 kilos or 9 pounds. Overall, I suppose weight-wise, that's pretty decent. I will weigh myself, if I can, before I'm updating one of these videos, or once a month, so I can actually see on the scales. To be honest, before starting here, I thought I was about 100 to 105 kilos, so it was a bit of a surprise when I jumped on the scales and saw that I was tipping 110. It was actually 110.2. But I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt, so I dialed it down to 110 kilos. When I weighed myself this morning, I just had underwear, so that's a pretty accurate measurement of where I am. I haven't taken any measurements of my, actually I didn't take any measurements of my chest at all last time, or shoulders or neck or anything like that. I'm just going to focus on the waist and on the gut. I've ordered myself a little strip to, you know, weigh myself. I used this last time around, so it'll be more accurate. It'll arrive tomorrow. I'll record what the size is when that arrives tomorrow, and then I'll be doing it at least on a monthly basis. So guys, that's kind of where I am now. I'm happy with my progress overall. It's been a relatively easy thing to do. I've had a couple of cravings here and there if I'm passing the bakery, or you know, somebody's eating, you know, something sweet, you know, a little bit of a craving's like, yeah, I'd like that, but then I don't really need it at all. So, you know, it's been relatively easy to just, you know, kind of turn away from it. I'm focused on getting overall health results here. So the investments that I have made in the equipment, okay, maybe I've spent a, you know, a few €100 here getting set up, but I firmly believe that the most important investment that you can make is the investment in your health, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. I have a chuck of beef that I picked up in the butcher's as well yesterday, so I'm going to be cutting that up, hopefully get a couple of steaks out of that, and mincing the rest of it and making my own patties. I've ordered myself one of those kind of burger maker patty things as well, just to, you know, kind of keep everything consistent at the same size. So that's kind of where I am. I'll put a list in the comments or just up here as to what I've actually invested in and what I have spent over the last you know, 10 or so days, so you guys can, you know, get a better idea. If you want to do this properly, this is how to do it. Again, I hope this is helping somebody. It's certainly keeping me in check. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.